Hey guys, Jess from Stark Skincare here, and welcome back. Unless you've never been here before, in which case, welcome to my channel. My name is Jess, and I am the founder, CEO, mixologist, bottle washer, label applier, all of the things at Stark Skincare. A great little indie skincare brand that is largely undiscovered and flying under the radar. So I'm gonna talk about something controversial yet again today. I'm all into the controversy lately, you guys. You know, if I'm not talking about food, I'm talking about Botox. Crazy, riveting, hard-hitting journalism here. But it is one of those things where, you know, people get offended somehow, people get judgy. We all do it, but anyways, it is something that I feel like discussing. Maybe it's because I am, how old am I? 36. I'm already forgetting. I'm 36, and you know, around this age is when we do start thinking about it. I guess it's kind of marketed towards our age. Some may say that it's like the perfect age to start. I just feel like it's something that I've been thinking about more, I guess, because my peers around me, you know, some are getting Botox, and, you know, people have asked me what my opinion is of it, and I have thought about it for myself, but I didn't go through with it, so I do not have Botox. I'm not ready yet. I think my face would technically be ready. I like very extremely dynamic eyebrows. One side of my face I can like really contort. I can like lift this eyebrow up and I can do this. It's only on this one side of my face. I can't do it on the other. But I think because that is like a, you know, that is a movement that I've done a lot through my life, and my teeth are crooked on this side, I do have some asymmetry that I would like correcting. The only thing that I would be interested in trying is Botox, because it is, I believe it's the oldest injectable on the market. It was designed medically to actually treat cerebral palsy back in the 60s. So it does have that medical background, and some may argue that it's natural because it is a natural toxin. You may have heard of botulism before, that they discovered from some like rotting sausages. But anyway, so some would argue that it is natural. It is safe-ish, depending on, you know, who you ask. There's definitely horror stories when it comes to Botox. My advice, although I haven't done it yet, is go for the very best that you can possibly afford, especially if you live in the US. So in this, the recent edition of Allure, there is an article about, I guess she's a dermatologist who does a lot of injections. It's an episode called Needle Nation, an article. I don't know, I just kind of skimmed it, but apparently in the States, you don't really need to be licensed to inject botulism into people's faces, and that is terrifying. I have no idea if this is the same in Canada. I don't know if it's the same in Europe. I would venture to guess that it's not the same deal. But so wherever you live, if you want to go through with it, you know, do proceed with caution. But I just think that it's really, really scary how little training it takes to be allowed to administer this stuff. It's apparently like a weekend course for estheticians, and yeah, how could you learn anything in a weekend? Like, I wouldn't even be able to learn how to do like a handstand in a weekend. There's no way. Especially if it's like in your practice, you don't use needles at all. And then all of a sudden it's like, okay, learning how to safely use a needle, but then also the art of freezing portions of people's faces. Like, I don't know how anyone would be comfortable with you know, learning that over a weekend and actually going you know, back to work on Monday and then injecting stuff in someone's face. That is so scary. So if you're going to do it, make sure that it is a medical doctor. I've also read in this article that now, so apparently you can go to your dentist and get Botox, which is hilarious and weird. It's like, can I get a crown and like no furrow lines, please? But now it's also the hygienists that can administer Botox. I guess they went on that weekend course as well. Yeah, so just be very, very selective. The best Botox, in my opinion, that you can get is the Botox that nobody can tell, like nobody knows, nobody can tell. They say that until the dynamic, so dynamic lines are the wrinkles that you get from like moving, right? It's not like the fine lines that just can kind of accumulate maybe around those dynamic lines. So because I'm at rest and you can't see this C11 is what I'm calling it, I'm not going to touch it until it's like, it's like that at rest. Do you know what I mean? So I'm giving myself until maybe I'm 40, then I will reevaluate the way I feel about Botox. And again, I'm not judging anyone who's had Botox. I think that, you know, if you're self-conscious about something and you are proactive about it and, you know, fixing your mind around it, of course, but then who's to say that you don't deserve to just get rid of like the stupid wrinkle that's been bugging you? On one hand, I feel like we should watch ourselves age. Just to be witness to who we are becoming is something really, really special. And, you know, the whole, like, not everyone is blessed enough to live into old age and that kind of thing. But at the same time, if something really just doesn't feel like it's part of your face, if it makes you feel really self-conscious, it's something that you should never feel bullied into getting. It's something that everyone needs to just evaluate for themselves, of course. But I think that, yeah, one of the issues is that, at least I feel like maybe this would be an issue for me, just knowing me, is that it could become a very slippery slope where, let's say my first experience is awesome and I get really great, you know, mobile Botox. No one can tell, but I just feel like my face feels really refreshed and I feel like myself again. Because I know now that I'm 36, I still feel like I'm 18. And, you know, my mom, who's 63, she's like, she still feels like she's 18. And, you know, I've heard this experience with so many people, and I have had this experience myself where you see yourself and you're like, whoa, I don't recognize myself anymore. And, you know, I think I've been pretty lucky in the aging department. I don't have any white hair for some reason, and I don't have many wrinkles, so I feel very happy and grateful about that. But I don't know how I'm gonna feel, you know, mid-40s, 50s, or whenever my aging really starts to catch up with me, as it will. I hope it does. I don't know how I'm gonna feel, but so I think that it could be a slippery slope for me if I start getting injections and then I'm like, oh, there's my face again, like there I am, and then wanting to just keep going and getting more and getting fresher and fresher looking. I don't know, I'm just using fresh, to the point where, you know, my forehead is shiny and it doesn't move, and, you know, my lips are, because I think that's what happens, right? It's just nobody wants to have like a duck face, shiny forehead, like no expression, and like, well, I don't know, maybe Kardashians do, I don't know, but like I think most people don't want that like static look. But it happens because, you know, we're human, and as soon as we have that like really good experience, we want more and more and more. So I think that what could happen, and what I've heard, is that you know, you sort of stop seeing yourself, you stop seeing the changes that you're making, you know, and then all of a sudden you've gone really far. I want to see how my face changes. I want to see when I start getting gray hair, which is why I don't dye my hair. I want to see, you know, how I can grow back my eyebrows before getting microbladed, you know? Like a lot of people, when I've asked for their opinion, they're just like, just go for it, you're gonna love it. This is both for Botox and for microblading my eyebrows. But there's part of me that like kind of likes the project of like trying to stay as healthy as I can to see if I can keep up looking youthful, or trying to grow up my eyebrows because I'd love for my eyebrows to be naturally nice, you know? I feel like that would be so much more satisfying than just the quick fix. But then that's also the appeal, the quickness of it. I'm getting a phone call. Oh well. Because I am in the beauty industry and because I'm on YouTube now, like I don't know, in 3 or 4 years, if my following got really big, I wonder if I would feel way more self-conscious about my looks. I mean, to be quite frank, I don't have the highest self-esteem. It's really hard and it's a very vulnerable thing to be putting yourself out there knowing that it'd be so much easier if I knew how to do makeup for camera. It'd be so much easier if I just had Botox and then didn't worry about like the crazy faces that I pull all the time. But I'm so curious to see where I'm going, you know? Anyways, that's my little rant about Botox. I'd love to hear what your take is on it. And I know that's a very, very strange topic for someone in the green beauty sphere to even be mentioning, but it's like as if it doesn't exist, right? I think if I've had it, I think I would just tell you guys. Just be like, yeah, I got Botox. You know? Tell anyone. Like not wear like I got Botox t-shirt, but like anyone who wants to know, I would tell them. So that's just my take on it. Bye.